I'm Pat Collins at the Music Box Theater, where Mad Men's Elisabeth Moss has the title role in a revival of the Heidi Chronicles. Wendy Wasserstein won the Pulitzer Prize and the Tony Award 26 years ago for her seminal work about a young feminist and the evolution of the women's movement from the 1960s to the 80s.
There's a lot of talk these days about superwomen. Are you a superwoman? Oh, gosh, no. You have to keep too many lists to be a superwoman. I love lists!
I think that it's almost more relevant today than it was in '89. You know, she was sort of very ahead of her time. And the questions that she's asking are no different than the questions as a 32-year-old woman today that I am asking.
Heidi Holland, a young, unmarried, outspoken feminist, art historian, and the mother of an adopted child, is determined to have it all, including having the right man. The men in her life are Jason Biggs of Orange is the New Black and Tony nominee Bryce Pinkham. He departed A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder to take the role of Peter.
I've become a liberal homosexual pediatrician.
Peter finds out in his early adulthood that he's gay and has to come out to his best friend, who is probably at that point in love with him. Wendy Wasserstein, the playwright, was, I am told, named after Wendy in the Peter Pan story. And Heidi is, of course, a sort of surrogate for Wendy. So Peter, her best friend, I like to think is named in some way as a wink to Peter Pan. They are soulmates that can never be together.
What's it all for, Heidi? What's it all for?
He is her on-again, off-again lover. Scoop is kind of arrogant, aggressive, and I think these are things that really attract Heidi. And, you know, there's something about...
But he's also dangerous.
He is dangerous.
There are 19 characters in the Heidi Chronicles, but only 8 actors in the cast.
I play Lisa, and I play Jill, and Debbie.
I'm playing 4 different women, Fran, Molly, Betsy, and April. April is a very powerful television host.
We were known as the baby boom generation.
Tony winner Pam McKinnon directs this revival of the Heidi Chronicles. The play originally opened on Broadway to rave reviews in 1989. Wendy died in 2006 at the age of 55. The cause of death was lymphoma.
Wendy was, a trailblazer. And the Heidi Chronicles takes us from the 60s through the 70s to the 80s and shows the changes that our society was going through, not just for women, but for men at the same time, too.
But I keep allowing this guy to account for so much of what I think of myself. I allow him to make me feel valuable.
We could have Wendy back for 5 minutes. What would you ask her?
I would selfishly want to ask her questions about the Heidi Chronicles, but I think I would want to ask her what she's going to write next, because I think that that's the thing that we all miss the most, is she had so much more work to do.
And I thought the whole point was we wouldn't feel stranded. I thought the point was we were all in this together.
The original Broadway production starred Joan Allen. Cynthia Nixon was also in that cast, and David Hyde Pierce replaced the original Peter. I'm Pat Collins for Arts in the City.